ask our presenters. If not, we'll start asking questions. Please slack. So you'll either be really funny or you're all going to hate me. Alright, let's start. What? Do I have to start? Do I have to go to our Twitter page for our questions? One of our Twitter members wants to know what the post-colonial and gender theory of Catcher in the Rye would be. But we don't have time for that answer right now. I don't have no questions asked.
David mentioned something to ask you a question at the Q&A about ashes and balloons.
Yeah, it's the book I wrote, and self-published a book last year. It's called Ashes and Balloons. And it's really dark, just like a forewarning disclaimer. It's really dark.
Why are you embarrassed by that?
I don't know.
What's it about?
Life is dark that people die. This actually raises a question I had about, it kind of ties in, yeah, I think it was directed both for you, Allison, and for you, but also for Amanda. About the, well, I mean, you didn't address it particularly in your talk, but I thought about during Allison and Amanda's in particular about, so we were talking about how we evaluate cultural items, and a lot of most of the examples we kind of use, Regina especially, was very kind of uplifting examples. But then Catcher in the Rye, and then the sad poem you mentioned at the end, and then you mentioned your novel, which is dark. So what value can we draw from things that are dark? Fulton Sheen has a quote talking about dark grace as the value of spiritual lessons we learn in the absence of God in our lives. Sometimes we think He's not there. And this comes up in Ecclesiastes especially, and in Job. And these have profound spiritual consequences for our lives. So what in cultural items that you see is the value of dark grace?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge fan of dark things. I gave a talk on Catcher in the Rye, kind of a depressing book. I wrote a depressing book. I read a lot of depressing books. That's kind of my thing. But I guess I really like them because it just kind of endears you to human nature and how things aren't always peachy 100% of the time. It dresses them in its entity, like books that are about darker things or not as happy things. And it makes you appreciate the lighter things as well, but then kind of, and in most of those books there's always a bit of light in there somewhere, so you can't have 100% depressing books because they're just dull and no one wants to read that. So it kind of makes you appreciate those lighter moments and then see the beauty of the darker ones.
Yeah, the Bible isn't, it has also some sad things in it. Everyone, I feel like. Exactly. Sometimes in our modern culture, we tend to present Jesus as the good guy. Jesus, I know a guy. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's a meme. Anyways, it's kind of yeah, there's that aspect of it, but he also got scourged and crucified on a cross. Old Testament, lots of messed up things in the Old Testament. Lots of good things too. Yeah, it's just kind of that is the, that's life. We have free will, we have the choice, and sometimes people can do messed up things with it, and sometimes people can do really great things with it. That's C.S. Lewis says, God, when He made the world, he didn't make a toy world where it was just oh, we just play pretend, but at the end of the day, everyone gets redeemed and it's all great. It's just kind of our actions have consequences, and those consequences bleed into eternity. And it's I feel stuff that's more depressing helps us to, what Allison was saying, helps us to understand more about the truth of human nature. And the sort of, sometimes our world is really ugly, but sometimes in the midst of that ugliness, there's a lot of beauty, Tolkien says, there's a point where Gandalf and Pippin are talking, and Pippin's yeah, but maybe it was Frodo. Anyway, someone was but the world is so messed up. And this is paraphrasing.
No.
No. And then Gandalf's like, yeah, but you know, throughout the land, even though there's sadness, like love grows ever greater because of it.
Father Dan has a question.
Actually, can I weigh in on that question too? In addition to what everybody else said, if you would open in your program. But seriously, it's a great question. The principles I gave you, number 4 and 5, that we learn to listen to the real human experiences that are being expressed, but then we take the next step, which I would say is exactly what Allison did beautifully in her presentation, of saying how is what these people are looking for, how is what is expressed, how is it found in Christ? So I would say that's another piece of the value of that.
Kind of talking about like the content of the Bible. You know, there's a lot of like classic themes that like permeate every Disney movie. Oh yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of themes that like, you know, classic themes that are almost like overdone in like Disney movies or whatever. But like themes like, you know, the tireless pursuit of what is right, and you know, serving, you know, whoever is like, you know, wounded or whatever until it hurts. Things like that. Of maybe those themes that we think are cliche, if they were revitalized, what theme in particular would you think is most like relevant to our culture?
Well, actually, like video games. I have a major problem with playing games where we have like a reluctant hero. And I understand like, I don't know, it just seems like that's all we get are these reluctant hero games where you start off and somebody's like, hey, you gotta go do this thing, and you have this character like, I don't want to do this thing. I'm talking about Desmond. Like, but I just, Assassin's Creed, if you've never played it, I don't recommend it because you do want to know what happens. You do buy the next games, and every time you're like, alright. But I think games like Zelda, where there is a good and it's presented to you and it's clear. I think games like that and stories like that, where a hero rises to a challenge, reluctant or not, because I mean, Link is an empty enough slate that you can kind of put whatever personality you want on it. But yeah, I think the hero story, like I would love to see hero go and save the princess. You can substitute whatever you want in there. I'd like to see that kind of re-emphasized.
I have one question then for Regina then, since I already asked the question to the other two presenters. So you mentioned that everyone kind of wants to go do the next level if you're a gamer. But what about the what I call the Dark Souls syndrome? Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a brutally hard game, and it's always very dark and gothic, and you will die a lot. The game is designed to kill you a lot. So much so that you basically rage quit, and then you just scream into the controller down and never want to touch a game again. So in real life, the applications of this to real life, for people who go through, like, who are trying to do these different levels, but then get discouraged, because we all experience a lot of discouragement in our life, what encouragement would you provide to like people who experience like kind of these dark soul moments?
I think that's kind of where the accountability part comes in a big way. Like a lot of times if you're stuck on a level, you'll do like a number of things. One, you just like throw the controller in the screen and never play the game again. You'll look it up on a strategy guide or something. You'll look up the YouTube video of somebody else.
What is the real life equivalent of the strategy guide?
Ask a priest! Ask somebody that you know has gone through something. So like if you're trying to, you know, figure out what kind of career you're going into and you're coming up with ways to kind of help yourself along with that, but you go and ask an expert in that field. But I would say, like, if you're trying to structure a game based on, like, how to, like, level up your faith life, like, definitely ask a priest, ask one of the Salesian sisters, ask one of the Newman golden people, because they exist. You will find them.
Who are the Newman golden people? What does it mean? Not just who are
the
they?
people that everyone kind of understands, like, yes, you should go talk to that person.
you kind of have to listen for the, now I'm like drawing blanks, but they're the ones that everyone's looking at right now.
Everyone's following everyone else's eyes.
Yeah, follow the converging eyes. So yeah, I would say that's like a big part of that is your accountability partner. Even if it's not like someone who is an expert, like sometimes you just go to like ask somebody else who's playing the game too, and you're like, what, you got past this part, how'd you do that? And they're like, oh yeah, there's this like secret tunnel that takes you around all that. So yeah, I would say like the accountability partner is a big part of that.
Well, I will encourage you to ask the presenters. If you didn't want to ask the public questions, please ask the presenters questions. We're going to take our intermission now for 5 minutes or more, and then we'll come back. So that's the rejoin for the next panel discussion. So, thank you.